It's a bit of a weird draft from Bigetron by Vitality. I'm not sold on the Novaria yet, even though we saw her yesterday. And yesterday into this game, once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's a semi-final match with Bigetron by Vitality and Aurora Gaming. Right now, it's match point for Aurora Gaming to once again get to the rematch of last year's Game of the Future against Onyx in the grand final. And don't you worry, for the fans out there, Bigetron by Vitality, if they do go down, they'll fight in the third place match tomorrow.
And waiting there is none other than the Malaysian champions, SRG. Looking at the side lanes, again, that's where a majority of the action will be dictated from, since mid lane are just jockeying for position for a better turtle take. Eman here invested in an early Jerkin, so he knows that he's outranged by Sigiboom's Melissa early on.
Yeah. It's one thing that you have to be wary of. Again, this mid lane, a lot of pressure here towards Moreno. But again, you're not going to be too worried. You're fine here on this Matilda. One thing though too is, again, Pagu, when he was introduced to us on this lineup by Aurora Gaming last year, he's one of the players who he's a playmaker, I think. And sometimes we've seen it before. I think that's why even when the Cho was banned, it's like, all right, sometimes Pagu, and this is just the nature of Cho, by the way. It's really struggles. But with a Belric in his hand, expect him to be aggressive. Expect Pagu to try to set up with a Wrath of Dryad. And I think whatever Rosa is going to take here, which is, I'm looking across, I think it's just the Circling Eagle, man. I don't think there's really anything else we can expect Rosa to take for an ultimate, right?
Would not blink if he actually went for the ult on Novari as well. I think that would be a very valid move, just to expose where everyone is from BTR. Like, that is basically losing battle. Speaking of, Moreno sets it up, but Nanael with the burst, and no clapback just yet from Aurora. Just like that, see? It was clear pickings where Aurora was, and that's why Nanael was able to go like, you know what? Let me yeet that turtle out of here.
All right, objective secured. It looks like even in the gold lane right now that Eman's got the upper hand anyway against Sigiboom. That's kind of to be expected, especially in that matchup, but if they can scale up, get that Brody the items that he needs, you know, even with a blade and the second item, I think it's going to be the Malefico unless he does something else. Will he be the one to get the Sky Piercer instead of Niall, right? I think it's more so the Brody.
Yes.
To lock it in.
4 out of 5 times it's the Brody. Rarely do we see it on a Nolan, if ever they do share a lineup. So with that said, again, BTR have a small lead, solid lead to build off of. We're waiting for this next turtle to actually shift gears off of. We're waiting for this next turtle to actually shift gears because it's a minute out, upper quarter.
Yeah.
We'll see if even, you know, these two juggernauts down bottom can make it there. Lunar is out XP'd. Wow.
Yeah, he's kind of having a hard time there. Even got the Dreadnought armor working in. No. Astral Echo laying down.
Finn knocks a Pagu. Pagu forced to flicker back. Torn apart memory, not enough stacks. Pagu survives.
Yeah, Pagu's going to be able to survive. Good on him for there. 30 seconds away from this turtle, so Bigetron by Vitality looking to go ahead and pick up some extra gold across the map. Taking a green camp here from Aurora Gaming. We'll see what else they can make as they reset towards this top side now. Part of this, again, is just waiting for Sigiboom to get in line, get scaling up here on the Melissa. The problem is he's just kind of getting outlaned right now. Eman doing a really good job, and they don't have much pressure. Like other than if TNZ happens to find some of the deadly magic, this is a lineup that really has to kind of just wait for its moment. If you're Aurora Gaming, you know, you're literally just waiting to cook here. And now the second turtle is up, and BTR has control.
And that makes it 2 for 2. Ain't no way Aurora can contest for that. And I think you're right. They're waiting for Sigiboom to come online, or for Rosa to steal the right ult, and for Pagu to find the perfect setup. So in the early to mid, it's a 2-step process for Aurora. All this while, BTR, all they're thinking about is Moreno scale up, Nanael has items, Eman can get stacks on, especially since Eman invested in an early Malefic gun. That is a stroke of genius. I really like how Eman here said, I lose on the range, but I can burst you down, Sigiboom, especially since you're waiting for your power spike. Let's do that now. That's amazing for Eman.
it's just extra reach, you know, that you have to go ahead and deal with, and kind of helps him, obviously, even in a sense of, again, he's all about distance, but even if he has to reposition, oh, they might do it here.
And they find one. Pagu, he tried. He really tried. But the first blood honor goes over to Eman. And they're hunting down Sigibum, forcing him out. Oh, I smell a turret take up top. Like, this is BTR setting up for that smash.
Yeah, this is such a good move here from BTR. Cut the wave, let Eman go ahead and push that in. It just feels like TNZ this game, how much impact he had in game 1 with the Paquito. You haven't felt anything from the Harley, you know, in game 2. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, how long do we need to wait if you're Aurora Gaming? We've seen Deadly Magics be...
Whoa! Moreno did not see that coming. I don't know if it was for a lack of vision or he did not expect Lunar to take that angle, but Lunar just popped him. And Moreno was forced to use a flicker too. He still died. What?
That was not very maestro of him. But I guess, yeah, he just didn't have the vision, man. I think that's one of the big things, but that is a kill. Going to the hands of Aurora Gaming. They might go ahead and try to push into this turtle. I mean, he's going to be back up. So if they want to go ahead and go for a fight, they can do just that. He's got the Astral Echo ready here.
He does.
They've already got 2 turtles in their favor, so they can go for it there. He drops down the Astral Echo.
2-man echoes exposing Pagu and Lunar, but I don't think that makes much of a difference. Those are the front liners. This is as 50-50 as it gets for the turtle. Bigetron are up by about 1,000 gold. Shogun comes in. Circling Eagle coming in from Finn. Knocks up one. Not enough. Again, they're looking for the re-engage. Pagu with the conceal. Lunar with the jump. Astral Meteor. Star Shatter misses. Oh, but just like that, BTR knows. Aurora are out of range. Nanael takes 3 for 3.
Okay, I don't know if Aurora Gaming really wanted to commit for that fight, but once they expended a couple ultimates or resources, it looked like they wanted to pull off, but then, you know, they just, I think it went down to, maybe we can retry steal it, but that didn't happen either. So really good 3 for 3 for Bigetron by Vitality in terms of objectives. Now they're going to be able to go ahead and focus elsewhere, but it's still, you got to give it up to Aurora Gaming. Despite all this, it's not some massive gold lead going in the pockets of Bigetron. It's just one thing after another, and I think still it's one of those cases we might see a 20+ minute game here with the way things are going, because Aurora Gaming can play this game. They can slow it down a bit, but again, when Lord comes into play, you know, I think that's where it might change, because on the base defense, you know, how good is this lineup to be able to go ahead and defend? Oh, Niall waited patiently for an opportunity here.
Oh, this is a nefarious angle. He's not even gonna go for the recall. Oh, Aurora Gaming, massive Astral Echoes, but they space him out. He finds Sigibum, but he trades out. Pagu with a taunt and the takedown. Coming in from Finn. Eman with a shattered attack. The torn apart memory gets another. He clicks in at the right moment, taking down 3. Good trade for BTR.
Really good trade, and Eman is online. Picks up a Sea Halberd too, and he's got that Sky Piercer. So, you know, he's got a couple on the Sky Piercer now. But I think even Lunar wasn't expecting that. He burned the flicker too, but still went down because of the range with the Brody that Eman has. So really good placement there. You could see the difference. He's a 1.3K ahead of Sigibum. So, you know, it makes sense. I guess this was worth the trade in the draft. That blue first pick, Uranus, given the space, you know, this is probably the best performing hero by Shogun so far throughout the past couple of days. You know, at one point he played at Uranus back to back to back. And now he gets it in game 2 to hopefully get Bigetron by Vitality to game 3. The Lord is up. BTR will go ahead and start this one up.
My God, talking about that Uranus on Shogun. What an intimidating paperweight. Essentially what it is. Even with the Astral Echoes, the Uranus just adds more to it. Instead of ending fights with a period, Shogun's Uranus ends it with an exclamation point. It basically just cordons off where Aurora Gaming can go, and it allows Bigetron to control range, to control engagements. That's why Eman is sitting at 3-0, which I think puts him at maybe 2 stacks on the Sky Piercer. They have just so much control over fights. Aurora have to find a way to play the map. That's the only other option.
Yeah, he's definitely got the stacks here. This has been a rather low kill game too. It's just more so of here's one pick here, here's one pick there. Objectives, this is very objective based right now, just because, again, Aurora Gaming's lineup, it's really built on allowing Sigiboom to come online. TNZ really has been not efficient, you know, on the Harley. He hasn't been able to convert kills or put pressure really that we're used to seeing.
Look at this. Unfortunately, the range on Aurora isn't as good as well. They could not use the Holy Shield to take care of the wave, and Pop Lord, massive circling eagle. Pagu flickers in, pops the ult, but E-Man is the man, dealing way too much damage. Ushering in the Lord, taking down that inhibitor. 2 down from Aurora Gaming, and Joseph, we might get what you've been asking for oh so dearly throughout the night. We might go to game 3 as Nanael goes under Rosa, but he takes down the Rose Queen. The Thorn Queen gets picked off, and just like that, the base cracks. BTR forces us to go all the way.